What's up guys, it's me Wildest Gameplay, and so far there's been only 4 days of January and Demba Ba's moved to Chelsea. Now first I'm going to talk about Demba Ba, what it means for Chelsea, then I'll just go and talk about what it means for Newcastle and them. So Demba Ba moved to Chelsea for £7.5 million, or apparently it's an undisclosed fee, I'm not entirely sure, and it was triggered because of his release clause. When Newcastle either renegotiated or gave him his initial contract, they gave him a get out clause of 7.5 million. First of all, that was stupid because Newcastle are normally quite smart and savvy in their purchases and sales. You only have to look at Andy Carroll as a prime example. So Demba Ba to leave for £7.5 million is very, very, very cheap, considering he still had a year and a half left on his contract. But he didn't want to renegotiate, and he felt it was time for him to move on. The reason he said he chose Chelsea is because when the European champions come knocking at your door, you say, yes, I'm going there. And fair enough to him, you know. He felt it was time to move to one of the top teams. And most players don't really get that opportunity. Even if they have a good season at a lower club, they don't really get a chance to make the leap. So this is his chance. He's 27 years old. He hasn't got that much time left as a striker. You could argue this will be his best few years ever. You only have to look at Van Persie to see how a striker develops. So he's got a good chance. Now, what it means for Chelsea, I've read somewhere that they bought Demba Ba to replace Daniel Sturridge, and if that is the sole reason why they signed him, then I don't agree with that, because Daniel Sturridge didn't get a lot of game time, he didn't get a lot of support, and I'm not sure what Chelsea fans' opinions of him are, but he didn't really have much of an impact on them winning trophies. So that being said, Demba Ba, basically him and Cisse together had a good impact on Newcastle getting into the Europa League for the first time in many years. So Demba Ba is the type of player who wants to carry a team. He wants to carry the team on his shoulders and be the goal scorer. Chelsea haven't really had a goal scoring striker since Drogba. Now Drogba left beginning of this year. I still don't know why he left. I thought he was an amazing player, but I'm not going into that right now. Demba Ba should start every game, not Torres, because Demba Ba deserves it. Torres, as good as he is and as good as people, Demba Ba is the third top goal scorer in the Premier League since 2011, only behind I think the likes of Van Persie, and I think there's another player, I can't remember his name. I think it's Aguero, I'm not entirely sure. So he's definitely up there, and you have to give him props for what he's done, and I think he can replicate it at Chelsea. You only have to look at other players who've made a jump from mid-table teams to top teams, like Rooney. Rooney went from Everton to Manchester United. He seemed to cope fine. Berbatov went from Tottenham to United, replicated his form. I'm trying to think who else there is. Not entirely. Can't think of anyone else, especially not in Liverpool. I can't really think of any others. But you know, he has the potential to go there and be a player. Back to the Torres thing. Torres deserves a chance, but definitely shouldn't be starting. Now I want you to let me know if you think that's right or not, because they brought in Mata, they brought in Raul Morales to help Torres. They even brought in Rafa Benitez to help Torres. So, what more does he need? What more does he need to get to be the player he needs to be? And I think his time's up. You know, he's not going to be the player everyone expected him to be. He might even be more used as a substitute with his blistering pace and his finishing. You know, all that shit. So, Chelsea fans, let me know if you actually want Torres to still start. Bar fans, let me know if you think he should start. Whatever. You know. Not too bothered about that. Chelsea are gonna. This could boost them up. I'm not sure. They might buy other people. They might not. They have the funds. They have the wages. They can do that if they want to. So Bar may not be the beginning of the end. It may not be the end. It's the beginning. They can sign anyone they want. So it could boost Chelsea up. They could go on and strike the Premier League alight. You know, he could score 20 to 30 goals this season. And it could be a really prosperous year for Demba Ba. And I don't hope it is because I'm an Arsenal supporter, but I hope he has a decent time. I don't hope Chelsea win, but I don't hope that Ba does bad. Okay, Bar, wish you all the best. Newcastle, not looking good for them at all. Not looking good. They've got so many injuries, so many. Ben Arfa, Kabaye. Those are just two names, two French players that just help run the team, and they're not doing well. They're not as high as in the league as they were last year. And Newcastle, I always think they should stay in the Premier League. It was really bad. I felt pain when they got relegated to the Championship that time, but they're back. They're doing their thing, and hopefully they should be able to stay up. Long term, since they didn't get a lot of money from Bar, don't know who they're going to spend their money on to replace him. They don't actually need a replacement, because if you remember, look back towards the end of last season, Bar wasn't scoring, Cisse was. Cisse is going to return to the centre of the strike force, and I think he's going to be a proper force to reckon with. So fantasy managers, go and grab Cisse. Might get you a couple of goals in the next few game weeks, you never know. So Newcastle, if they get their injured players back, they have the potential to climb up the league, but it's always going to be hard to tell, and it's going to be a struggle if they can't get them fit in time. So Newcastle, you'll be okay as long as your players come back and Cisse is scoring goals. It's really early on in the transfer window, and there's a lot to be seen still. I'm not really going to talk about Shamak transfer, Joe Cole transfer. I could do that in another video. I'm not too sure. But for now, it's been me, Wildest Gameplay. I might talk about some more transfer news over this month. I might not. But if you've liked this, let me know. I'll be happy to do some more. And obviously, I want to hear your opinions. So take care and